I got this.
Looking back at Scream 4, and the way Ghostface was moving was kinda concerning. The scene kicks off with these two chalking it up on the couch as they hear something upstairs. And people she has in her hands, straight nothing, not a single weapon in sight. I cannot trust her. She does not value life. We cut downstairs to her friend getting a call from Ghostface, but it turns out it was only her friend upstairs pranking her. We do not find her funny. She walks downstairs and gets a real call from Ghostface, with her friend come crashing through the window. We see Ghostface running at this woman as she avoids getting stabbed and runs upstairs. We later see her run into this door and gets clipped in her back and falls. She crawls towards the garage door to get out with Ghostface closing it on her. Blew her back out. This is kinda crazy. And gets dragged back inside and gets stabbed into a title card. We fast forward to the next day with everyone doing a bunch of yapping. It doesn't concern us, I promise. We're just gonna jump into the kills. Later that night, Kirby is on the phone with Ghostface with her checking her closet, but it's the wrong one. He's in the closet across the street. And I'm here to tell you right now, this woman got done up the worst way. It's time to kiss her life goodbye, peep. Sydney walks inside and sees the aftermath. I cannot show this. Later, Ghostface pulls up and cuts Jill's arm, with him getting pushed down the stairs and gets hit in the face with this painting but counters. But nah, Sydney's not the same woman she used to be in the first movie. She's changed. Got me putting in parlay. And look how she lands this kick, and Ghostface couldn't do nothing about it. He had to take it like a good boy. That's tough. And you mean to tell me y'all had a problem with this guy? Peep how I gave him full strokes, made him go to sleep. But I digress. As the officers pull up with Ghostface disappearing, cut to everyone outside giving the rundown on what's been happening. Fast forward with Rebecca walking in this parking garage. She gets a call from Ghostface, and my question is, how does he know her number? Who's the informant? And nah, he was talking so spicy it got to the point where she starts running to her car. We see her trying to start it up, but it doesn't work. She's cooked. Switch scenes with Ghostface jumping on it. I know that outside point of view is crazy. She later gets out of her car to leave the parking garage, but that was never going to happen. She turns the doorknob as it comes apart as Ghostface stabs her. It's GG. To be honest, she did this to herself. She should have stayed where she was, but in this situation she can't do nothing now, because a few seconds later we see her falling from the sky and crashes on this van. These kills are getting more creative. Got everyone a front row seat. Saw that in 6K UHD. This is sick work. We fast forward to the next night with everyone at the function, with Gail setting up these cameras, and later checks out the scenery trying to spy on these people. She's weird, but it doesn't last long. They start going out one by one. She later walks to check it out and notices there's a different camera recording her. This is suspicious. Someone is up to no good. We see Ghostface sneaking Gail. It was on site, and nah, what was this scuffle? I can't take this seriously. She gets stabbed and kicks Ghostface back and falls to the first floor. As Dewey fires some shots off, what was that aim? He moving like Dashie in the shooting game, straight misses. We later cut to these two officers outside Sydney's house, making sure she's safe, with Ghostface stabbing Lil Bro in his back and stabs this other guy in his head. And what's wild is how he was still alive for a few seconds before dropping to the ground. Inside the house, Sydney gets a call from Ghostface telling her to check the news about Gail, as she hangs up the phone and goes upstairs to find Jill, but she's nowhere to be found. We see Sydney and Kate about to leave the house, but Ghostface runs at them as they eventually close the door, not letting them in. And now I'm crying. This woman went outside with a stab in her back. This is sick. Sydney runs out the door and runs into Deputy Judy as Sydney later gets in his car and drives away. We cut to Jill and Kirby hanging out with everybody else. That doesn't concern us. Fast forward to Robbie outside as he runs into Ghostface at the front door, and it's GG's for him too. Just look how Ghostface is stabbing him. Force Bro to take it deep in him. We later cut inside the house with Kirby and Jill downstairs and opens the door with Sydney outside the house. They leave, but Robbie pulls up and drops to the ground with Ghostface running at them. They run upstairs with Ghostface getting kicked back, with them later locking the door upstairs. We see Jill hiding under the bed as Ghostface breaks through the door and walks outside and sees Sydney on the roof as she hits the dash, but gets knocked off as she recovers. She walks back inside the house as she runs into Kirby as they both go down in the basement. They later see Charlie banging on the door, wants to come inside, but that's not gonna happen. We see Ghostface pulling up and knocks this man out with the lights going off. They turn back on with him tied to this chair, with Ghostface calling Kirby as she tries to save him. She later walks outside and frees him, but that man Charlie gave her the swindle, the switcheroo, and stabs her. As it reveals, he's one of the Ghostface killers, and if that wasn't enough, he stabs her again and leaves her right there. We cut inside with Sydney checking the stairs, with Charlie popping up behind her. And nah, why is he whispering in her ear like that? Back up. Sydney felt the same way too and slams him against the wall and runs away and gets stabbed by Ghostface. As it reveals, it's Jill. That's crazy. Sydney gets taken into the kitchen, with Charlie throwing this guy to the floor. And this next scene was 10 times worse than anything we've seen. He gets shot in his meat, but she eventually lands a headshot, packed him up. But nah, job's not finished. She stabs Charlie and packs him up too. She really lost her mind, and it gets worse because she stabs Sydney again and drops her to the floor. Jill comes up with a plan to make herself look like a victim. Start the scene with her stabbing herself, running into this glass painting, and if that wasn't enough, she jumps into this glass table, body looking like she's getting some sloppy toppy. It's cooked. And later falls to the floor. This is crazy. Dewey pulls up as the scene switched to everyone at the hospital. We see Dewey and Jill chalking it up, and the second he leaves, she gets out of her bed to find Sydney. Switch scenes to Dewey and Gail talking. That girl Jill gave herself away. She knew that Gail was stabbed without anyone telling her about it. And in doing so, that man Dewey hits the jets. Meanwhile, Jill walks in Sydney's room, full court press, with them throwing hands. Peep how Jill threw this woman against the cabinet. That's tough. Dewey pulls up with Jill folding him. Didn't know the smoke was coming. Gail shows up too. She gotta save her mans, with Judy tackling her to safety. But Jill got this woman in checkmate because she has to save Dewey also, with her dropping her gun. She gets shot in the chest, trying to pack her up one movie too early. Don't say that this is a spoiler. We saw her get packed up in Scream 5. But I digress as Sydney shocks Jill's head later out. Everyone regroups, and seconds later Jill gets back up for round 2. She didn't get the chance and gets shot in the chest, ending this fight for good, with everyone surviving the night.
Bitch tryna leave someone. Bitch tryna leave someone. I'm tryna be someone. How can I please someone? She wanna need someone.